be the ultimate chocolate chip cookie comparison. Are you ready? We're gonna make my personal favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe from a chef named David Leibovitz, and we're gonna compare it with a recipe from the New York Times. Apparently everybody goes completely insane for this recipe. So we're gonna stick to the recipes, we're gonna use the ingredients they recommend, and we're gonna see which cookie makes it to the top. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so as you might have noticed out here in the background, we've already got our egg and butter out. Whenever you're baking, recipes will usually tell you to use room temperature butter and room temperature egg. Listen to it, it's science, it's baking. Trust the recipe, do it. Take these ingredients out first, well ahead of time. We're gonna take our mixer bowl and a second bowl. We're gonna start with the chocolate part because it's a little messy. Now let me also say this. Your freaking chocolate matters, man. Don't use cheap chocolate chips. Buy a bar of chocolate and chop it up like we're doing today. Are you sure? What was that? Oh, it was a cutting board. So we need 200 grams of either coarsely chopped chocolate or chocolate disc. So that's what we're using today. I'm gonna start with this one first. I have some 85%. Get all these slivers of chocolate so they don't come back to haunt us later. The secret to this recipe, first one, my personal favorite, is salted butter. I think that's what makes this recipe so good. I like to also kind of slice the butter up. I feel like it helps it blend easier, even though you should be letting it get to room temperature. So this recipe calls for either dark brown sugar or light brown sugar. You can use either. I personally like the dark brown sugar the best. Boom. 1 1/3 cup or 180 grams flour, a half a teaspoon of flaky sea salt or kosher salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda. So this recipe, you only need 1 egg. We're gonna take 2/3 a cup or 110 grams of dark brown sugar, 4 ounces or 115 grams of salted butter. Salted butter, don't mess that up. And a half cup or 100 grams of sugars. So you can use a hand mixer, but I have my stand mixer, so we're gonna use that with the paddle attachment. This is flour, baking soda, and salt. All right, got this on the side, ready to go. So we put the butter, brown sugar, and white sugar in the mixing bowl. We're gonna beat that until it's creamy. Then you add the egg and vanilla, and then you add your flour, baking soda, and salt. Ooh, yes. Last of the flour, salt, baking soda. And you don't want to overbeat it, okay? It's not ideal. Now we add the chocolate. Beautiful. Oh, cookie dough. Oh, cookie dough. The best. The best. The best. This is the part that sucks, you guys. Waiting. Yep, I'm telling you, if you chill your cookie dough, it's 1,000,000 times better. You should absolutely do it. You can do it overnight. The nice thing is though, that the next day you wake up and you have cookie dough ready to go and you don't have to clean all this mess up. So instead of just forming a ball, we're actually gonna make a cookie dough log. Yep. What I really like about this is you put it in the fridge or even the freezer, because it does keep in the freezer. And then when you're ready to bake it, you slice it. I love it. We're moving on to the second recipe. So let's put all the flours in one bowl. What? 2 cups minus 2 tablespoons. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? I hate this recipe already. 2 cups minus 2 tablespoons, okay? This is cake flour. Ridiculous. Why do they do this to me? Then we have bread flour. 1 2/3 cup of bread flour. Never seen a chef yell at ingredients before. Well, now you have. You're welcome. 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking soda. 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Yep, this one is a little bit different. And 1 1/2 teaspoons coarse salt. So yeah, I don't have a sifter, but I'll use a small hand whisk. We're gonna add 1 1/4 cup of butter, room temperature. She's melting. 1 1/4 cup light brown sugar. And 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're gonna take our mix and we're gonna mix the butter and 2 sugars for about 5 minutes, and then add 1 egg at a time, and then 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And last but not least, the chocolate. Chocolate rain. Let's do it. Just let that go. A clean kitchen is a happy kitchen. All right, that's looking good to me. I'm gonna add 1 egg at a time. 1 egg at a time. Two teaspoons vanilla extract. Then you reduce the speed to low and start adding the flour mix. Don't dump it all in at once. A little bit at a time. Push some of that mix down with a spatula. This is gonna make a lot of freaking cookies, man. And now we start adding the chocolate. This is so much freaking chocolate. This is insane. This is 1 1/4 pounds or 20 ounces of chocolate. I can't even take it. It can't take it, dude. The heck? It's too much. Too much dough. Get back inside. Struggling over here. What the heck? Well, I'm gonna have a lot of cookie dough to freeze. This is insane. Dude, we'll just make 1 large cookie, 5 head. So much dough. It was spilling out of the mixing bowl. It's heavy, dude. It's super heavy. Okay, now it's happening. This is nuts. What the? Who needs this much cookie dough? This is so heavy. It's crazy. So now is the fun part. We get to let that chill in the fridge overnight. Cookies for breakfast! And through movie magic in the VOD, you're not gonna have to wait. It's just gonna be there. Okay, through the magic of editing, our cookie doughs have been chilling in the fridge overnight, and we're ready to cook these and figure out once and for all which recipe makes the best chocolate chip cookie of all time. I'm excited. smell. It smells more like chocolate chip cookie. This one just smells like flour and slight chocolate. This one, it's almost like you could smell the brown sugar. Our bread and cake flour recipe takes longer to bake, so I want to start with this first. Both of these have to be baked at 350 degrees, so the oven's been preheating. For the cake and bread flour batch, we're gonna form golf ball size pieces of dough. A generous amount of dough. All right, first batch is ready. Okay, for the salted butter dough, you're gonna form the cookies into about the size of an unshelled walnut. That's what the recipe says. So a walnut that's still in the shell. All the dough is ready. And for both recipes, we're gonna sprinkle just a little bit of coarse sea salt on top. We're gonna start by putting these in first because they take longer. So these take 18 to 20 minutes. At about 7 minutes, I'm gonna put the second batch in. Now we're gonna put in our second batch. Ugh. So for the salted butter cookies, now that we're about halfway through, we're gonna turn the tray. Ooh! Oh, two of them are kissing. See, now I'm glad I did extra. And another 7 minutes. Okay, that's our first batch. Let's see. I feel like I should have done 6 minutes and 6 minutes. The other batch looks really cooked already. I know you shouldn't keep opening. I'm taking these out. Yeah, these are coming out. These look cooked to me, man. That's the cookie. Please be good. Please be good. I think this is perfect. Yes. Oh yes, this is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Can I please get a drum roll? I cannot wait to decide for all of you which is the best chocolate chip cookie of all time. Contender number 1. The New York Times bread and cake flour version. Contender number 2. David Leibovitz salted butter chocolate chip cookies. Who will come out on top? More like which, because cookies aren't a who, but you know. I really don't know which one to start with. I feel like maybe I should start with the cakey bread floury one first, since this one is salted butter. Maybe the salted butter will, you know, change my palate a little bit. Smells like heaven. It's surprisingly crunchy. Very sweet. It has a bread-like crust now that we let it cool. I don't know. It's good. It's better than buying cookies from the store pre-made. But, okay, hold on. Getting to the center. Wait a sec. Okay. Okay. I'm not convinced about the texture. They're really sweet, too. They're very sweet. I feel like they could have been cooked a little bit less, so they wouldn't have been so crunchy. They're good, definitely much better than anything you'll ever buy in the store. Will this salted butter cookie stand the test of time and remain my all-time favorite recipe? I'm gonna go with this one. I'm telling you, they smell different. I know you guys probably think I'm insane, but even when the dough was raw, when we were rolling the cookies out, I could smell a difference. I mean, there's no question about it. Tastes like heaven. Oh man. Yep. What I also love about this is the outside is crunchy and the inside is soft and gooey. It's just perfect. And I would like to try baking these again for a little bit less time, just so they weren't so crunchy. But I do feel like no matter what, the tops are gonna harden like a loaf of fresh, crunchy bread anyways, because of that bread flour. But this is just so good. And I think the salted butter makes a difference. And I did choose to use dark brown sugar instead of light, which don't forget, I told you guys that's my preference. I've made this recipe both ways. And let's say I have all the ingredients and I have light brown sugar, but I'm out of dark. I'll still use light brown sugar to not waste stuff. But I do think dark brown sugar makes this just much more complex. And it has like a little pull, you know what I mean? It's got a little pull to it. I just spaced out because I'm having a moment of euphoria because this is so good. I think you can tell by my reaction that this is hands down the winner. I think what's attractive about this recipe is that they make large cookies that don't flatten, and that's the bread flour, probably the cake flour, and the baking powder. But you know what? When you have tastes like this, who cares if they're big? You just make a ton of small ones. Even more satisfaction. Because whatever, just listen to me. Trust me. If you ever would like to see a behind the scenes making of any of these secret sauce episodes, check out my Patreon because I do stream live to my tier 2 patrons. It's a new benefit that I just recently added. We're here to figure out what is the best chocolate chip cookie recipe of all time. And the more I think about it, I'm not blown away by the bread cake flour recipe. I think it's a lot of work. It's a lot of everything. Stick with the salted butter recipe, you'll thank me. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and let me know in the comments below if you tried it out. And if so, what you thought. Also, don't forget to tag me on social media with your photos or videos if you tried either of these recipes out. I had a lot of fun doing this. I really like experimenting with recipes and trying out new things, so hopefully it inspires you to do the same.